What's up, guys? Welcome back to the E8 Football channel. I'm Ethan, and today I'm going to tell you guys where I've been and the preview for the next week or so, which involves international gameplay. I want international football games, and that to me is really important because I think I mean, you guys know I'm American, so I don't have much confidence for my team, but enough of that. Let's get on to what I have to say in terms of where I've been and stuff. So, if you guys haven't noticed, the past week or so, there's been no content and I know that I missed some very crucial games. I'm very happy with how Manchester United and Barcelona have played. Let's go. But stuff hasn't been going for me in the past week or so. So we went to this one place I met up with some family somewhere, and whilst I was over there, I managed to get myself food poisoned. So you could probably tell how that went, and things did not go very well. I was at the toilet for like days for that stuff, and things were not getting well. I drank so much Pepto-Bismol and ate all the chewables, and it didn't go very well. So now that's out of the way, I'm back. I'm going to start getting back to the content and stuff and get ready for the international break. I know people are underrating I personally think that people underrate the international break. I love international football. Sure, it might not be as electric as club football, like with all the cups and stuff, but they've got some interesting tidbits as well. Have you guys seen AFCON and the Asian Cup? Those two tournaments are literally some of the most thrill-seeking tournaments of the entirety of football. And all those people, all those fans can back me because it's very good. So we're going to focus on World Cup qualifiers. I think the Nations League also plays out in America in North America, CONCACAF for this case, and UEFA, so like in Europe. And I think that World Cup qualifiers happen everywhere else. So we're going to go into preview for every single one of them, and I'm going to tell you guys what I think is going to happen in most of the games and how each of them is going to go out. So let's begin. So we start out with USA against Panama. This is going to be happening tomorrow, and it is the first semifinal matchup of the CONCACAF Nations League. And so how do I think the U.S. is going to fare up in this match? Well, for starters, I don't like the look of this match because Panama was the team that we lost to in that disgrace of a tournament that we were in terms of like the Copa America that we hosted. I'm still salty about it because we really, really should have at least gotten to past the freaking group stage because that was just disgusting. So we managed to draw them in the semifinal, avoiding Mexico. They got to play against Canada, which is going to be a cracker of a match, by the way. So let's begin. USA-Panama. How do I fare this is going to go? I do think the U.S. will win this one. I think we have a chance in this one. And I do think we will at least score a goal. I don't think this is going to go 0-0 to penalties. I do think we will score a goal. I don't know if Pochettino's got the grips of how we're going to line up against this one. Because like I said, the U.S. is very expendable in all parts of the field because we have a lot of players that have played in a variety of scapes across Europe. So I feel like the U.S. has a good chance to move on to the final for this one. So I'm going to go the U.S. Pochettino, USA never make things easy. So I'm going to go with 2-0, something simple like that. Enough, more like a smash and grab to get through to the final of the Nations League, where we play the winner of the two teams on the other side of the tournament. And this is the match that I'm looking forward to. Canada against Mexico, bro. This match is going to be absolutely hectic because, one, I think Mexico has a good team. They do have a good team. I'm trying not to be biased here because I'm obviously going for the U.S., but Mexico has a good team. I don't know about the defense. Like, I've seen Mexico play before, and their defense is the reason for them conceding lots of goals to, like, top-heavy teams. But in terms of, like, this match, this is an even match because Canada also has a team, like, a young team up on the rise as well. We've all seen those guys like Schaffelberg, Bombito. They're all, like, super young, and they're ready to get going in terms of, like, how good they are. I remember, like, wasn't it in, like, the previous World Cup qualifiers that Canada actually got first place, beating Mexico and the United States. So, honestly, I feel like this is going to be a close match. I think in terms of, like, who's the favorite, I'm going to go with Mexico because Mexico, in terms of, like, the skill they have, like, based on, like, the players in each individual position, I do think they have more skill. And so, in terms of predicting this match, it's going to be a close one. This is going to be a close one. I'm going to go 1-1, penalties, Mexico wins, to set up the American Classico again in the final of the CONCACAF Nations League. Once again, we're going to be reliving the USA-Mexico final, and honestly, I just cannot wait for it. So I'm going to have to give you my prediction for that on a totally different thing on its own. So, yeah, that's how I think the the CONCACAF Nations League is going to go. Hopefully, the U.S. gets out a win in this one. Now, let's move on to CONMEBOL FIFA World Cup Qualifiers. What do I think is going to happen here? So, we've got the first match, Paraguay against Chile. I think Paraguay wins that match. To be honest with you, Paraguay has a really good team. They're on the rise recently. I think they beat Argentina before. Yeah, they did. They beat Argentina 2-1 with, like, a golazo from one of their players. They play really well, Paraguay, and I think they're going to have an underrated team coming into the World Cup, and if they qualify for the World Cup, and just overall in terms of, like, skill and stuff. In terms of Chile, they're an aging squad. You could definitely see some of the legs getting on them. I think they're really lowly ranked in the thing. Let me see. Yeah, they're 9th. If you're a Chilean fan, I'm going to be rooting for you guys here because, I don't know. I mean, so yeah, I think Paraguay's going to win that match. I think it's going to be close. It's going to be like 2-1. So I'm going with the 2-1 for Paraguay for that match to start us off. Brazil-Colombia, that is a fabulous matchup. That matchup is absolutely fabulous. So we've got a shaky Brazilian team coming up against a Colombian powerhouse who, in all reality, has lost its last 2 matches. Let me see. Yeah, they lost its last 2 matches to Uruguay, who's completely fair, and Ecuador. To be fair, those are 2 very difficult opponents, but Colombia have been on fire recently. Excluding those 2 matches, before that, they were on a 20-game win streak before they came across my Argentina. They pretty much annihilated anyone in their path, even Brazil before. I think in the quarterfinals of the Copa America, they beat Brazil. Or no, they didn't beat Brazil. They beat Uruguay, and they smashed the heck out of Panama. So it's going to be a close match. Brazil without Neymar is always a bit of a concern. Colombia, they've got Luis Diaz, James Rodriguez still firing all blanks, still firing shots when he's like a little bit on the older side, but for that match, it's going to be close. I'm going to upset a lot of Brazilians here. I'm going to go 2-2. I'm going 2-2. I'm going with the draw. I think Brazil has enough talent to keep it at bay, and Colombia more attacking. 2-2. I genuinely don't see... This match is going to be an absolute insane match. Next up, we got Peru against Bolivia. Now, Peru, they're not a good team right now. I mean, they're old. They have experience, but I expected them to do better now recently in terms of like how they were doing. So Peru, they have an old team, but you could still count them to get out to get results against teams like Bolivia. Now Bolivia is a different story. Bolivia is, let me see what place Bolivia is at. They're 7th. So 7th against 10th. In terms of Peru, they need to get a win in this match in order to continue their World Cup hopes. And for Bolivia, if they win this match, then they get pretty hopeful, actually, in terms of, like, for them qualifying, because they... Let me see if it's in La Paz. Hold on. Is it in La Paz? Let me see. This game... It depends, because if Bolivia plays in La Paz, they're going to win. Oh, well. I don't actually know where this match is going to go. I'm going to go 1-1. 1-1. Yeah. Both teams are a bit shaky at the moment. I think Peru will be the favorites for this one because Bolivia were shocking in the last Copa America. So I'm going to go with... I'm going to favor Peru for this one to win this, but I think it's going to be a 1-1. Ecuador, Venezuela, underrated matchup here. Very underrated matchup. We've got an Ecuadorian team that is on fire at the moment. They're getting results against really good teams. Moises Caicedo is doing absolute bits at Chelsea right now. We've got Kendry Paez, who's also like on fire, getting also picked up by Chelsea as well. Chelsea always getting these young guys. And we've got Estupiñán, who's also on fire at Brighton. And then we've got Venezuela. I know Venezuela has this one guy, Soteldo, who's like really good on the wing. And when they play quality teams, they usually show up. Like against Argentina, they drew us. They drew Argentina. So for this match, though, in particular, I'm going to favor Ecuador because Ecuador just have that class, man. They have that skill. I think this can get them past Venezuela into the top 3 for World Cup qualifying. I think they're already in the top 3, but I'm going to get them. I'm going to go for them. I'm going to go for them in this one, and I'm going to think they win something comfortable, like 2-0. Something comfortable. Now we get to Uruguay, Argentina. This match, probably the match of the entire CONMEBOL FIFA World Cup international break. And Argentina without Messi, no Garnacho, they didn't bring him in as well, even though and for Uruguay, they've got Araujo, Valverde, Maximilian Araujo. I think their goalkeeper's Roche. He's pretty decent in terms of like shot stopping and stuff. They've got Darwin, which not that I'm all scared of. I mean, it's Darwin, but this match is going to be two heavyweights against each other. I think in the last match, Uruguay beat Argentina 2-0, and that's why I'm nervous, because if I'm Argentina right now, I really need to scrape a point in this game. Like, because this is a tough international break without Leo Messi. So, I mean, we've got Alvarez, we've got a solid foundation, but we just looking shaky in the back. Lisandro Martinez is going to be such a loss to this team as well. We've got Christian Romero returning, but I don't know. Is it enough to stop this Uruguay juggernaut of a team? I'm going to say 1-1. I'm going to go biased. I'm going to go 1-1. I think we have just enough to get a draw out of this match. Uruguay probably going to dominate the ball on the attack, but I'm going to say 1-1. Nothing else said about that one. I'm going to go 1-1 between Uruguay and Argentina. Now we move on to Europe, the UEFA Nations League. 2 teams in 4 matches for the quarterfinals to move on to the next phase. 8 teams, all powerhouses of the European sport, and we're going to go into the first match, which I think is the easiest one to guess on paper, Denmark against Portugal. Now, Denmark have a decent national team. They've really disappointed in the 2022 World Cup and have been cutting strings a bit too close in terms of like getting matches down to the wire. I know in the Euros they drew a lot and probably should have lost some of those matches, to be fair with you guys, but they did manage to get through. They only lost to Germany, which, to be fair, it's Germany, so I don't see anyone doing anything against them. But in terms for Denmark, there are some lights. There have been some good people on this Denmark-Danish national team. So let me look at some of their players here. We've got Christian Eriksen. Obviously, he's getting a bit old, but he still has that quality for us in Manchester United, although like he is, like I said, he is getting old, but he still has quality when he shows it for Denmark, and he does do it in the international stage, so that is good. We've got Rasmus. I mean, Rasmus hasn't been good in form recently, but he has started to score a little, so let's hope he does good for Denmark in this match. You've got Dorgu, you've got Højbjerg, you've got, I'm looking at this team, you've got Christensen, but I don't even know if Christensen's going to be ready for this match because, like I said, he has been hurt for Barcelona, so yeah. But in terms of that, they have a decent national team for like Portugal, but Portugal are just so freaking stacked right now. Like, they've got so many good players. They've got an aging Ronaldo, even though he's aging, he's still Ronaldo. They've got Bernardo Silva. They've got Ruben Dias, who are both old but show up for Portugal when it matters most. They've got, I think Pepe's already retired, yeah. They've got Rafael Leao, João Felix, who hasn't been at his best recently at AC Milan, but like I said, hasn't been at his best. Move on from there. They've got Vitinha, who's cooking at PSG alongside John Neves. They are just on fire right now. PSG really changed those two into the dynamic technical midfielders that they are right now. They've got Bruno Fernandes, my guy who's actually in good form right now. He's been scoring goals out the wazoo recently, and they've got Diego Costa, Diogo Dalot, who's also consistent. Right now he's not at his best at United, but when he plays for Portugal, he's consistent. Nuno Mendes, oh my gosh, this team is just so much better. I'm going to say in the first leg, we get a 2-0 Portugal. 2-0 Portugal, and then the second leg, we get, well, I'm not going to do second leg yet. I'm just going to do the first leg for now. 2-0 to Portugal for the first leg. Next, we've got France against Croatia. Now, as a fellow Croatian national team follower myself, I don't have much confidence going into this match. We've got Luka Modric, who's old but still scoring bangers at Real Madrid, still working that midfield at Real Madrid. He's showing that age is just a number right now. I mean, we've also got Kovacic, who's old as well, but I don't think he's been doing that good at Man City recently, but when he plays for Croatia, he plays better, so we'll just have to see what happens there. We've got the only problem with Croatia right now is the back line. That back line, excluding Vardiol, that back line's shaky. Against Kylian Mbappe and all those other French forwards, it's gonna be tough to try to defend against those guys. I mean, I know we've got Budimir and Perisic playing for us, but against that French defense of Kanate and Saliba, it's going to be tough for us, man. In terms of France, obviously they're France. They've got a really, really good team. If they call up Mbappe, you know they're going to be good. They've got Michael Olise. They've got Ballon d'Or contending Ousmane Dembele. They've got Kamavinga, Saliba, Koundé. That wonder kid, Desiree Doué, which I said would do damage against Liverpool. I did say he would do damage, and he's proving to be something absolutely insane for the future. And they've got so many good players. I'm looking at it right now. Maignan between the sticks, Colomboane, Marcos Thuram, Barcol. Oh my gosh. For this match, I don't see Croatia winning, man. I don't see Croatia winning. I see this being a 2-0 to France or a 3-0 to France. We'll just have to see how long the Croatian backline can hold Mbappe and Due and Ousmane Dembele, and we'll just have to see how they can hold them for now. But I'm going 2-0 France, despite favoring Croatia in this match. So now we've got Germany versus Italy. Let me just say this right now. Italy right now are not the best team in terms of like how good they were. I'm going to say, let me look at this Italy team right now. They've got Chiesa, who is not getting minutes at Liverpool. We've got Calafiori, who's a little shaky for Arsenal since his arriving. Gianluigi Donnarumma, who's playing really well, actually, for PSG. A few mistakes here and there, but he's good. Retegui, who's been a baller for Atalanta right now. He's scorching the Serie A right now. You've got Sandro Tonali, who's showing that he's still got it at Newcastle United despite leaving AC Milan. Barella at Inter, who's always good. I mean, he's Barella. They've got DeMarco, who's old but bright. He's always shows up for the Italy national team and does his very best. And yeah, right now in terms of like overall ability, this Italian team is good, but against Germany right now, Germany, one of the best teams in Europe right now. I mean, like they've got Musiala, Kimmich, Kroos, Havertz, who's pretty much going to be injured for this entire match. Muller, who's still got it. Undav, Fulkrug, Rudiger. I don't know, is Rudiger going to be open for this match? I think he is. Gundogan. I don't know if Gundogan's retired yet, but they just got Gundogan. Sané, Goretzka. They've got a good team, Germany. They've got Emre Can as well. You know what? I feel like this is going to be a close match, but I'm going to go for Germany to win this one. I'm going to go for Germany. I think based on like the overall ability of this German team, how young they are, they've got rising stars, Wirtz, Musiala. They're both incredible. And on Italy's side, I just don't see that attack sinking together with Chiesa not getting that many minutes at Liverpool, and they've got Retegui, but I just don't see it with Italy, man. I'm going to go with Germany. I think they win this one 3-1, something closer, 2-1 maybe. I feel like Italy has a good enough defense to hold off a few German attacks, but in that second half, that Germany will probably break them down with some Musiala magic or Wirtz magic. And now for the last match in Europe, Netherlands against Spain. This is the match of the tournament for the Nations League, for the quarterfinals. This match is going to be absolutely insane. This match has the best defense in Europe going up against the best offense right now. Oh my gosh, but this match is going to be on fire. We've got Van Dijk playing really good minutes at Liverpool, showing why he's the best center back in the world. Xavi Simons, who's coming back. That RB Leipzig move I question, but he's still showing he's got quality over there. Frenkie de Jong coming back onto the scene for Barcelona, playing very well. Memphis Depay, underrated player for Netherlands. He always plays really well with them. Cody Gakpo, although he's been injured, he's still got that quality for the Dutch national team. Van de Ven. Van de Ven is a good player as well for Tottenham. He's been their shining star in the midst of all this terrible season. We've got Matthijs de Ligt. I'm just saying he's been playing really well for Manchester United ever since they signed him. He's proven all the haters wrong. Joshua Zirkzee, who, whilst people might not say he's been doing good at United, I personally think he's been playing absolutely at his best at Manchester United and has done pretty well for a season that has gone down south very quickly. They've got Ryan Gravenberch, who's in my opinion, one of the best CDMs in the world right now because of how good he's been playing. We've got Frimpong, Ake, Timber. This is going to be a close match. I think Netherlands has a very solid defense in order to give this Spain team a test. But this Spain team, I'm saying it right now, this Spain team is the best team in Europe. Probably one of the best teams in the world because of the sheer amount of youth that they possess at a national level, at a club level as well. This is going to be a hell of a match. Lamine Yamal, Nico Williams, Morata, Pedri, Dani Olmo, Cucurella. Cucurella plays differently for Spain, man. Cucurella does play differently. He plays better. I know at Chelsea he's iffy, but for Spain he plays well. They've got Pau Cubarsí as well, who's absolutely rose in the ranks at Barcelona. He's showing that he's going to be a very good potential center back coming in for the Catalans. They've got Marco Asensio, who's banging in goals for Aston Villa as well. I know they didn't call up Gavi. They've got Inigo. They've got Balde. Unai Simon, which I really don't rate because he always makes mistakes. I feel like David Raya is the better goalkeeper there. Marc Casado, he's hurt, so I don't think he'll play. And so, what do I predict for this match? I feel like Netherlands, when they show up, they do show up. But I think Spain just has a better team, man. That attack and midfield are just so much more younger and faster. They play for all the big teams. I'm going to go 3-1 Spain. I think Netherlands holds off 3-1. I think it could be more because of how good this Spanish attack is. So, yeah, that's all I have for that. And so, what do you guys think? Should I do some more reviews? Should I do the African World Cup qualifiers? Should I do the Asian World Cup qualifiers? The content's going to come back, guys. I swear. I'm just feeling better after my food poisoning, so content will be back. I'm telling you guys, this international break is going to be really good. All right? So, yeah. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.